everybody, and welcome to the FG3's podcast. Here today, we are actually joined by the FCF running back, Calen Campbell, who is now an undefeated FCF running back, is a 2-0 with two different teams right now. And he's just here to join us, talk a bit about his career, his time in the FCF, and just a little bit of everything.
You still in school?
Yeah, I'm in my final semester.
Okay.
And then I'm a sophomore in college. I play football.
Oh, word? Okay,
Yeah.
Where you play at?
I play at Wilkes University. It's a D3 college in Pennsylvania.
Okay, word. Okay. Yeah, I know that D2 life, man. I know that D2 life. I was playing football at this school called Lindenwood. It's in St. Charles, Missouri. So yeah, man, I know that D2 life, man. How old are y'all?
We're the same age. I'm actually just in community college, so I'm going through 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
we're
I'm 19.
Well,
so.
yeah, that's right. You're not 20 yet.
Oh wow, man. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm 19, and so yeah, I still got a lot of years though because of the COVID year. Obviously, got the extra year, and then I've fractured my left ankle my freshman year, so I got the red shirt.
Okay. Got that.
Yeah. I can still play 4 years. So
yes, sir. Hey, man, that red shirt is a blessing. I remember when because I actually transferred from a school in Alabama to the school that I finished up at. And I remember when I got in my freshman year, I was so bent on being like a true freshman. You know what I'm saying? But they was like, but I heard people, they was like, nah, you want that red shirt, take that red shirt. So I got to be a red shirt. I almost got my stuff burned though, because this was way back. Like this was before the rule that they have now, which is different. You could still play in how many games and still have your red shirt?
It's like 4. I think it's 4 games before we can't red shirt.
Oh my goodness. See, when I was in college, bro, it was like a specific amount of plays. If you had a specific amount of plays, your red shirt was burnt. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so it just blows my mind. Now I'm like, dang, man, everything is better when you leave, but.
Oh yeah, no, because a lot of people complain and they just make it better because they have to please everyone.
Yeah.
But I mean, but it's I think it's also percentage too. Like if you play 50% of a game, then you can't redshirt either. But I was only on field goal block because I'm 6'6", so they're like, yeah, go play field goal.
Freaking tower, bro.
Yeah.
Freaking tower, yeah. You better go block some kicks at 6'6", man.
Yeah, so I played 5-10 snaps a game and then fractured my ankle. So they're like, yeah, you can take the red shirt.
Yeah. Well, that red shirt will come in handy too, man. Mm-hmm. Especially finishing up school too. It took me Go ahead.
Yeah, learning the playbook too. That definitely helped.
Yeah.
Getting that extra year to learn the playbook.
For sure.
Because going in, I think I had the same thing too, where I was like, oh, I'm gonna try and be a true freshman. I'm just gonna especially being D3, I was like, oh, okay, I don't really gotta work. Or not work, but I should be more talented, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel in my eyes, that's what I thought. And then I'm like, oh, okay. There's more from high school to college, there's definitely that step. And I bet you say it too from college, transferring to other schools and going to different sports leagues. I bet you see it too. So,
So, of course, you started in college for Lindenwood, and you had a great career there. Although your first year was, or your first time at Jackson State was cut a little short for injuries, but you came right into Lindenwood and you did a great job. You brought you did a lot. You did a lot.
Yeah, yes, sir. It's Lindenwood, Lindenwood, and then Jacksonville State. Lindenwood was it was a great experience, man. I learned so much. Of course, when I got there, I was struggling with injuries. Really struggled with injuries primarily my first 2 seasons, and even my senior season. With my senior season, I got a little bit better with the injuries, of course, but it was a great experience. Many of the things that I learned outside of football, coming from Alabama, where I'm from, football is like king, you know. And when I got to Lindenwood, it was now, of course, like I told y'all before when we were off air, everything gets better when you leave, right? So Lindenwood, of course, they're blowing up now. But when I got to Lindenwood, football was kind of like the afterthought at Lindenwood. If there was any sport that was balls hog there, it was rugby or something like that. It was, which shouts out to the rugby team at Lindenwood, big old dudes. But, I learned a lot, outside of football there. And then, of course, with football, it was still a blast when I was there.
So what would you say out of your time at Lindenwood? What was the football or non-football, really? What was the most important thing that you learned during your college experience?
My college experience, it's a myriad of things, man. It's a myriad of things, but I'll kind of try to be concise. I learned specifically in my college career, especially when I got to Lindenwood, truly the talent that I have is God given, and giving the glory back to Him through it, and impacting so many people around me. It was amazing just to see how the Lord used me in so many capacities. With my teammates, as far as leadership is concerned, and just being a brother to them. Yeah, I still got guys that I keep in touch with from Lindenwood that I'm still pretty close with. It was a blast. And then also I learned that life isn't about football. It's not, like I said, growing up, football was king. And even going to a high school that was known for football, and going to a college that was known for football, and going to a place where football was kind of the afterthought, I was like, oh man, that was the Lord right there. And just really teaching me, like, football isn't life. So many other things that life is about, and just using football as a tool and as a platform. If anything, it's not supposed to be the end all be all. Yeah.
So after your time at Lindenwood, you took your talents to the Indoor Football League, the IFL. And
Yes,
your first couple seasons was with the Sioux Falls Storm.
Yes, sir.
And you, in your second year there, I believe, you went straight to the championship with them, and you took home the trophy with them.
Yes, sir. So that. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So first, yeah, it was my first year. It was my rookie year with the Sioux Falls Storm, and just came into a spot that was a pretty good spot. Coming in into the IFL, Sioux Falls Storm is a perennial winner in the IFL. So it was amazing just to go out there and get around Coach Riggs, who many regard as the Bill Belichick of the IFL, and getting around players like Lorenzo Brown, and Claude Davis, Lawrence Martin, guys that have this type of experience, and also guys that came in just like me, who ballers. You know, my roommate there, Kent Shelby, was a receiver that had some NFL traction at first, but then ended up going into the IFL just like me. And, you know, he ended up doing his thing. And it's so many others that I can name when I was in Sioux Falls. You know, Chris Taylor, my guy, O-lineman, you know, Matt McCoy, safety, whose season was kind of cut short a little bit. But there's so many guys I could name that come to my mind. But it was amazing, you know, to go there and step into a winning situation, because not everybody has that opportunity, you know.
Yeah, no matter what league you're in, like holding the championship trophy is definitely it's a big thing. So how was that for you? Like coming right in and just right away winning, just winning it all, coming right in.
Well, for me personally, it was great, because I had just left about 3 seasons of about 3 to 4 win seasons, you know, when I was at Lindenwood. So to kind of just hit a perennial winner in the league was like a breath of fresh air. You know, it was great. It was great. You know, like I said, I enjoyed my time at Lindenwood, but, you know, winning was hard to come by when I was there. So
a whole different feeling.
In the team right off the bat, hitting the team right off the bat, my rookie year, and we win the championship. Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Yeah, because it wasn't like. Oh, go ahead.
I was just wondering, like, what was the experience like in the around the locker room, and like with the coaches from going from college and like all these different sports leagues? Like, is there like any like real difference that you like noticed, or you know, like how is it, I guess?
From speaking from college to pro, most definitely, I would say college has more of a locker room atmosphere of kind of, it's more brotherhood like. And I'm not saying, because of course it varies through many of the pro teams that you go to. Of course, football, there's going to be a brotherhood atmosphere. But especially going to a small D2 school like I did, there wasn't so much of a business aspect portion to it. When you cross that threshold over to pro football, it's pro football. It's exactly how it sounds. So there's going to be more business, and there's business aspects in the college arena as well, especially the higher you go to in college, you know, Power 5 or really Division 1 just in general. But and also D2, there's still some business aspects to it, but not like pro football. But it's still it's all a great experience, and I'm blessed. I'm thankful for, you know, both of the experiences.
Yeah. So as soon as you get into the pros, that's when the contracts start coming in. That's when like some of the players like they start developing some of their egos and everything, and then you sort of got like a mismatch of people, but it can turn into something good or bad, really depending on how other people deal with it.
Right.
So then after
That's correct.
after the Storm, you went over to the Shock for a little bit, another indoor football league, up in Washington.
Yes.
Yeah, you did a little bit there, and then what made you decide to exit the IFL and then head into another opportunity like the FCF?
Well, the thing about that is, Jaden, I was signed with Spokane, and I'm still signed with Spokane. Okay. Of course, COVID happened, so the season was cut. Probably I was up there for all about 2 weeks, and of course, Washington was, I believe, the first state that there was a death from COVID, and you know, the coach told me, he was like, "Hey, you know, we'll get you out of here we'll get you out of here before they lock down the state. But it was, so of course it was an unfortunate situation, not being able to play the season and having to come home. Of course, I enjoyed my time being home, but so it's not necessarily an exit out of the IFL, but they did allow me to come and play in the FCF, which was a blessing in itself as well.
Absolutely.
And shouts out to my coach, Billy Back.
I was just about to get to that, because from what it looks like, I believe you're in a hotel right now.
Yeah.
How is the bubble aspect of the FCF? Because no other football leagues have done it so far, and FCF is one of the first to endorse the bubble technique. How has that life been so far?
Man, let me tell you, they've been on point. Okay, everything from top to bottom, from the bubble aspect of this environment, has been on point. They're not playing around. Whenever we leave the rooms, we got to have masks on. We have a palm tracer, contact tracing device that we have on that, of course, traces the distance that we are from one another. And through it, man, we've been able to have a lot of success over in keeping the virus out. And, they were just talking to us today about, continuing to, kind of anchor down on much of the protocols that we've had that's brought us this far. So huge shouts out to the medical team in the FCF and all of those who are, woven into that. They've been doing a heck of a job.
So, like I said before, you're 2-0 in the FCF, with, of course, how the FCF works. They redraft every week on a Wednesday with 2 different teams. How is that aspect of just going to a different team each week and learning how to play with all the other players that you were playing against one week, you're playing with the other? How is that aspect of the FCF?
Man, it has been a really interesting experience, to tell the truth. But when I say interesting, I think it's exciting. It kind of leaves you on your toes a little bit. Not knowing specifically where you're going to be drafted and who you're going to be with. And of course, everybody talks about chemistry. I talk to my parents, and, my dad will bring up, having chemistry and cohesion is the name of the game in football. And that's important. But there is a different type of excitement that's being brought to the game. Us kind of being on our toes and not necessarily knowing who we're going to be with. And I know for the past 2 weeks, I've been playing alongside some ballers. My first week being able to play with, the receivers like Rashad Floyd and Doug McNeil, and, much of those guys on the edge. That's the reason I was able to get into the end zone, and the guys up front, the guys up front like Jalen Fly Sadler and JB, huge shouts out to them. And last week I was able to play with David, DP, franchise tag, Andrew Jamil. We call that man Jukebox. Turpin, my dog Turp, human highlight reel, basically. Man, well, I've been able to play Joseph Boykin. I could go down the list. There's so many ballers that I've been able to play with, and everybody's good here. It's so many guys. I could just go down the list. So, and it's just kind of like, man, I just sit back and I'm just excited. I'm like, ooh, where am I gonna go this week? What team of ballers I'm gonna be with this week, and just go on from there.
Now, of course, the league is always about changing stuff and constantly changing rules, fans changing rules, the owners changing rules. What are some things that you've noticed in the first 2 weeks that you would like that you would like changed or that you'd like modified?
That's a good question, Jaden. The length of the game. I'll say the length of the game would be something. Of course, we're working out the kinks with the fans, calling in the plays and things of that sort. In the time between that,
especially with the running clock for most of the time,
yeah,
it goes by real fast.
With the running clock, the length of the game, which of course, an hour-long game, of course, from a health aspect and just our legs being saved, is cool and everything. But of course, we're all competitors, so we want reps. We want reps, and of course, me being biased, I'm a running back. Hey man, the fans call some more running plays.
Yeah.
We get a little bit. I know the game the fans want the game to be exciting, and we want the game to be exciting as well. But hey, we got some big dogs in that backfield that are ready to tote that ball. So I say those are probably the two things.
All right. So since you said you're the Shock are on hiatus right now, if the FCF continues on for another for more seasons, would you plan on staying with them? Would you leave there to go back with the Shock? Would you try to find a balance between both? How do you think you're going to deal with that?
To be honest with you, Jaden, that's something that I'm gonna have to really just pray on. Of course, it's I'm just going where the Lord leads me, and He led me here right now. So, and of course, I got major love for the Shock. I got major love for Coach Back, and really him, putting me on the exempt list and being able to come out here to play was, something that was just really generous of him. So it's really, of course, and with this as well, the FCF as well, it's wonderful. It's great. I've enjoyed myself. This is probably the most fun I've had playing football in some years. So, and the coaches and the players and the fans, it's been a blast. So of course, I got to take that into consideration as well. But I'm not in any spot right now to make any type of decisions, choosing between, so that's something that's going to be a decision that's going to have to be made down the line.
Ryan, do you have anything you want to
ask? So I did see that you played at Jacksonville State, and I'm actually a Jaguars fan. Yeah.
well, so Jacksonville State is actually in Alabama. So I didn't go to Jacksonville. Yeah. but funny that you bring that up though, Ryan. My freshman year, we actually played Jacksonville University, which is the school, the D1 AA, the school that's in Jacksonville. So they actually came up and we played them back in, man, that was like 2013, my freshman year in college. So it's actually funny that you bring that up. But we always did get confused. It was either Jacksonville, when I brought up Jacksonville State, they were like Florida, or we always got confused with Jackson State in Mississippi as well. Because when I would bring that up, they would be like, Jackson State? I'm like, no, bro, like Jacksonville State. Like, we're in Alabama. And so we got it all the time, man, when I was there.
A lot of Jacksonvilles and Jacksons around here.
Yeah, it's a lot of Jacksonville. It's a popular name, man. I'm like, dang, everybody want to be named the same thing, Where's the originality, huh? But nah. So it's funny that you bring that up, though, Ryan. Yeah.
So to sort of,
I was just gonna say that kind of ruins my question, but I was gonna be like, how's the city like how is the city different from the Lombardia?
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. I wish I could tell you, man. I heard Jacksonville. Well, I'll tell you what. Jacksonville, I actually went on vacation to Jacksonville area when I was like young. I was like, it had to be 2007, man. It was pretty cool out there. It was real beachy, you know. It was of what I remember, it was pretty cool out there. Of course, I can't really tell you anything that's happened recently, of course, because
Yeah.
what 2007, that was how many years ago? I can't do the math.
14.
Terrible at it. Yeah, 14 years. Thank you.
Yeah.
My math is trash. But yeah, it's kind of. I would love for Jacksonville to pick me up. How about that?
I
You
want
never
that.
know. In a couple of years, he might be
We
blocking
need-
for him.
Yeah.
I would love to have a 1-2 punch down in Jacksonville, especially with the big man coming. The big man coming. So.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not going to say his name, but hopefully. Hopefully.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love to hear it, man. Yeah.
So we're nearing the end right now, and I have one big last question that I want to throw out, like a couple rapid fire. So on your Instagram, you said 2020 was a rough year for everybody. You had a bit of you've had some like just like everybody has during the quarantine, ups and downs. You found yourself. You've found a lot of things out. What were some of the things that you had to overcome and get through during the quarantine?
This is you coming with the questions, Jaden. Really good questions. So many things. I look back at 2020, and it was a tough year, but it was also a beautiful year. I grew so much in so many of my friendships. You know, my relationship with the Lord, and also many of the things that I had to overcome, of course, was, you know, being at home, having to really get creative with especially when quarantine first started. And I know y'all remember how it was, things were shut down.
Mm-hmm.
I remember having to be really creative with my workouts, having to do home workouts.
Yeah.
You know, jogging around
everything.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, man, like, but I made it work. And so many, you know, I'm pretty sure many of my teammates did the same thing. Just having to overcome, you know, being locked down and really finding how to still progress in the goals and the purpose that I feel like the Lord has really placed in my life. And also really just a lot of the things that were going on outside of football as it pertains to, you know, social justice,
mm-hmm.
and in the virus in and of itself as well, and everything, just still keeping a level head throughout that. You know, there were days just being in despair over many of the things that were happening to Black bodies, guys that look just like me. And of course, this is something that's been going on for years and years and years. But being able to see how people are now coming from an aspect of the outpouring of realizing, and of course we're not there yet. We're not there yet by any stretch of the imagination. But there's still so much to do, so much progress to be made. But just seeing that, and now it really coming to a head last year was tough. It was tough to see it, and it's still tough, still to this day. But you know, just really being able to overcome that, and overcoming the effects of that mentally, and just continuing to progress through that. I think those are really some of the biggest things that I think that I could take away from 2020. The things that I had to overcome. personally, and just, you know, being able to be like, you know, back at it.
Yep.
Still
Keep
here
it
playing
we keep
football.
it 100% for when you finally get back to normal.
Yeah, for sure. Like, so I'm thankful. I'm thankful for everything that I had to encounter in 2020. And it's made me who I am today in 2021. So I look back at 2020, I'm like, yeah, it was hard, but it was beautiful at the same time.
For all the hardships that everybody went through, something you always came out with it with a lesson or like something learned, and always it really helps to further yourself as a person.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's right on point, Jaden. That's right on point.
So I wanted to end it off with a couple of quick fire, rapid fire questions, like short little fun ones to end it off. So what is one play or route that when it's called, you just know in your head, this is going to be a big one just every time? What's one like solid one that you know it's going to be a banger?
35, 36 whirly bounce. It's kind of like an offset play. It's the 35 bounce was the really the two plays that I scored off of the first week. And we're kind of offset, and we kind of get the progression of it is I kind of get downhill with the handoff, and I have a option to either cut it outside, or if that end works over the top, I could cut it back inside. So the way that the guard blocked it, of course, I was able to cut it outside. So both times, but I'm itching to cut it back inside a little bit too. But plays like that, yeah, I would say 30, 35, 36 whirly bounce. Those are the plays where I'm kind of that bell's kind of ringing in my head, like, oh, this could be something right here. This could be something for sure.
Especially in this league with there's very few people in the backfield, so there's a lot of room to really do some work in there, especially with a outside kind of run like that.
Right. I'm just licking my chops, you know. Yeah.
So I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but what was one of your like all-time favorite teammates to play with? Like one that was just always just made you better whenever you were playing with them?
Wow. You come with the questions. This is really good. It's so many guys that I could just put my finger on that just made me better. As a player, really as a person. I throw it back, but if I had to pinpoint anybody, I would say it was, and I actually grew up with this guy. I would say it's a guy named Landry Tulo, and I'm still bros with him to this day. He was a linebacker. He's a defensive coordinator at a local school back home where I'm from. And this man, I remember I used to go over to his house, or his apartment. He stayed right up the street from me, and we would play NCAA. And just seeing, even at a young age, this was like when we were in 7th grade, just seeing how at a young age, his understanding of football, it was off the charts. And I could tell, and when I look back at it in hindsight, I'm like, yeah, he was, I should have known back then he was going to be a coach. But just his passion for the game, his knowledge of the game, it was like bar none. And just as a guy, you know, even to this day, he inspires me how he's now coaching, but now he's not only coaching, but pouring into the lives of young kids, and young kids that look like me, you know, as well. You know, Landry Tulo, I say, if there's and of course you say you didn't want to put me on the spot. it's so many other guys that I could name too, but
Yep.
the one that came to my head was my dog Landry. So yeah.
That's almost the same with me and Ryan, because I started playing Madden 20 just the other last year, and like I went in knowing like bare minimum about like calling plays and everything. Within like the end of the year, I knew like everything there was to the game. I'm still learning about it too, and he helped me out like perfectly, immensely. Yeah, and to end it off with
I play Madden. I play Madden like it's actual football. So like I just look at. Well, I mean that's how I do it too. Like even when I play center now, I scan the field. I see where the safeties are going. If one comes, I go, okay, he's coming. Someone's coming from that side. So, I mean, I love that. I love football.
Smart player. Smart player, man. I should have, man. I should have been playing behind you as well, bro. You feel me?
My coach said I can start calling the mic, so I'm very excited.
After that level.
Yes, sir. We like that. Yeah, you my type of guy, Ryan. You're my type of guy.
Thank you. It's funny because a lot of freshman running backs last semester, they're like, I'm gonna just hide behind you. Because I'm just like so big. I just like surround the guy. Yeah, I'm 6. Here, I'll stand up if you want to.
Yeah, bro, for sure. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm just gonna sit there.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit there. I'm gonna get that ball and I'm gonna just push on your back. You know what I mean? Just be like, hey, bro, like,
especially,
you know what I'm saying?
Especially playing that run zone read kind of offense. Just sit behind me. I'll bring it to the backer.
Oh yeah, come on, yeah, double team. We like that. Okay, yeah, okay. And then once you get up to that, work up to that linebacker, boom, you know. That's it.
I love whenever I get to the linebacker, I just look to my right. I see the running back go. Like, yes.
Yeah,
I did go.
Best feeling in the world. Just see the running back go. One safety to beat, and you know he's more talented than him.
That's it, bro. I'm telling you.
And
that's it.
The one final question, a little quick one. So everybody, whether they like it or not, they're gonna have a cheat day once in a while. What is your go-to snack food? Whenever you want to like just have a cheat day, what's your go-to food?
My go-to food. Yes, I do enjoy cheat day. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Anything with chicken wings, man. I had some chicken wings last cheat day with some fries. I had these spicy Korean Q chicken wings from Wingstop with some Louisiana rub, half and half.
Ooh,
it was amazing, man. And then last week, or this past Sunday,
write that down.
I had this Philly. Yeah, it was this Philly cheesesteak from American Deli with some with 5-piece honey garlic. It was on point, man. You know, so hey, even the athletes, man, we cheat.
Yep.
Hey, yeah, it was phenomenal, man.
You always see the videos of like The Rock with like 15 pancakes stacked high, and they're like, oh,
exactly.
It's worth it.
We do it. Even us, you know, we can afford to cheat just a little bit, you know, just a little bit, not too much though. So
how often do you have it? Like every other week, a month, like once a month?
Man, I have it each weekend after a game. I'll treat myself a little bit after a game. I'm like, okay, after a game, I could get one in, just one in though.
You deserve it.
One.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah.
Absolutely. So Ryan, do you have anything to add? Anything else you want to ask?
I just want to know, like, next week if you score a touchdown, what celebration we say?
Well, my touchdown celebration, I keep it the same. I'm on my knees. I got my hands up to the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what I'm here for.
We saw it a few times last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think that celebration really just sums up what I'm here for. So yeah, that's kind of gonna be the main one for me. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, both of us definitely appreciate you coming here. This was a great interview, great time. Thank you so, so much for joining us. And we appreciate it.
Well, man, I appreciate y'all, man. I have fun, and man, y'all have a good one. I hope y'all have a great week, man. And
Yeah,
yeah.
you too, and I can't
Thank
wait to
you.
see
You too.
Saturday.
All right, brothers.